No, I'm not going to jail. I'm going to get on this plane and I'm going to fly home.
Alright guys, Mike here at Pro Cycle. We're going to do a nice little video on doing the NSU screws. It can be quite overwhelming, but it's pretty simple. Requires a few basic tools: 10mm socket, 8mm socket, 17mm socket, a 10mm end wrench, and a 12mm end wrench. It should just about do it, besides the bolts on your foot pegs. Alright, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to warm the bike up. We already warmed it up. We're going to drain the oil. We recommend draining the oil. You can do it by tipping the bike on the side, but that can cause more headaches than what it's worth. So we recommend go ahead, leave the bike up, and drain out the oil so you can do that. So let's get started. Alright, we got our drain plug cash can here. Not going to need an extension on that. All right, be careful, the oil can be hot. It's not super hot right now. I'm not too worried, and as you know, you'll get to the point and voila, his oil is flowing. All right, we're gonna let that drain. We're gonna clean up our drain plug. This would be a good chance, if you don't already have it, to go ahead and get a magnetic drain plug, replace that stock one. All right, oil is draining out. Now we're gonna go ahead and pop off the 3 oil filter bolts here, pull that out and let it continue to drain out. Give her a little second to drain out. Kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Or not horrible, but I'm expecting it to be a little cleaner. Okay, we're going to remove the clutch arm. Got to pull this bolt all the way out. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, behind here is a little cotter pin. It is a real pain to get to, but we're going to want to pop that up, and then we can push this pin out and unhook the master cylinder from the brake pedal. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen one of these, loosen that one, take this one out, the foot peg will drop down, unhook the 2 springs, and then the brake lever will move out of the way. Alright, we got the lower peg mount bolt taken out, got that one loosened, got the clevis out, the bolt on the clevis with the cotter pin, and then this allows the brake pedal to drop down and your peg mount, and so that allows you full access to the case right there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take off the return line and the feed line here, this is a 12mm. And these 2 are 8s. Careful, there is an O-ring inside this fitting right here. So don't lose that, you'll have issues. So let's take those off. And it's a good idea to just keep your oil pan there in case you get any leaky, like that. All right, we got that draining. And then the O-ring is actually sitting right in there. I'll grab a little pick and we'll pull that out so we don't lose it. Or you can just get it in there with your fingers if you got fingernails. There you are. Got that little guy out. So we're going to put this here and not lose it. And let's take off the top one. Careful not to lose the crush washers as you're doing this as well. And your clutch washer fitting underneath. Keep all that together. And wipe up any little mess that we've made. All right, next stop, case removal. All right, all these bolts will come out. This one here, as in other videos and whatnot, is easy to tell because it does have a washer on it. So next to the oil fitting, this one will have a washer on it. And what I do sometimes is I will take, and I'm organizing the bolts as I take them out, but I'll make a mental note of where the first one goes, right down here. Or, in a good case too, take a video of it, and then you can look back and see where they all go. But there is a different lengths, and so this one here is actually a little bit longer. Here's our one with the washer. Make sure you get the washer off too. All right, we got all those off here right now, and next step, it's time to pull her off. All right, we got our mise en place ready, got everything in place. We're gonna go ahead and just take up a little bit of extra oil, get it so it doesn't make a mess. And it might take a little bit of wiggle room depending on how secure it is on the bike, but we might have to get an extension and just give her a little pry. A wrench will work. Just be gentle. All right, as you can see, we're draining. I was able to just get a little gasket scraper or a pry bar here, and there's a little tab on this side, and give it a little oomph and should pop loose. Now we're going to go ahead and slowly wiggle it out. Now this shaft is on your output shaft for your clutch, your actuator, so it will move a little bit. That's why we marked it. And ta-da! There we are. Happy, happy. All right, case is off. You got a little bit of a cleanup area to do around on the cases just to make sure that we have a smooth surface when we put the new gasket on and get everything put back together. But as you can see, it is all taken apart. Clutch is exposed. There's our actuator rod. And yeah, there should be. So we're going to go ahead and next step will be pulling off the clutch pack here. All right, now we're back in the clutch springs out. You want to do these in small increments of backing them out. So it keeps everything tension-wise pretty happy. And then once you get her done, you can go ahead and pull these out. You got your screw and your spring. We're going to set these over here. Make everything HAPPY. All right, next step in here is we're going to go ahead and pull off the clutch basket. We've got to take off this retaining clip here, and then the nut and the clutch basket will come right off afterwards. So let's get going on that. Right, let me get back up in here. Trying to get on a lip here, so then you can just bend that up and out of the way. Nice mechanics Suzuki, put that nice little blue paint on there. All right, that is out of the way. Now, a couple of different ways you can do this. As in our instructions, you can put the brake pedal back on and then shift her into 5th gear and hold the brake, and then that'll hold this, which you can get the nut off. Or if you have a clutch holder tool, something like this, you can go ahead and get that on there. Or we do have the other style EBC that goes around the whole clutch basket. We've got this tool, so that's how we're gonna run with it. All right, we got a clutch holding tool on. We're gonna take our 27mm socket, and we're gonna go ahead and break this loose and get her off. All right, got that broken loose. We're gonna go ahead and get this all out now. All right, be cautious of the thrust bushing. There's a washer here as well, and then also the lock tab washer. Those off. You will get a new one of these with your NSU kit. Do not reuse those unless you have to. And voila, there we are. Now also it's a good time to check your thrust bearing washer here as well. Make sure all this is not worn out. Looks good. Happy, happy. Continue on. Okay, now we've got the clutch basket off. You can see our NSU screws down in here. One right there, one right there. This is a new one, so they got the Allen heads on there. You can see how that upper one, trying to do that without taking the clutch basket off would be doable, especially the new style that are Allen heads instead of Phillips. But at the same sense, that's a real pain. So let's go ahead and get this cover off here, and then we'll get the screws out. All right, we are in. We got the clutch basket off. Everything's exposed. Here's our wonderful NSU. We've got our NSU screws. Let's see. This is a 24, low miles. Let's see how tight these actually are. All right, that one's tight. That one's pretty tight as well. But we're still going to go ahead and we're going to take these out and get them taken care of. All right, now I'm going to take these screws out. As you can see, I put a little rag right here. The hole behind here goes into the case. So if you happen to drop one of these and it happens to go down in that cavity there, you'll be doing a little bit of magnet fishing. So lo and behold, we got some red Loctite on there. Good to see, good to see. We're gonna do that one step better. And one thing you do want to remember, there is a spring behind here. So before you take both of them out, you're gonna want to go ahead and put a new screw in, or if you're just Loctiting them, just be Loctiting the other side before you do this. But we're gonna go ahead and throw this screw in here so we can get this all tightened out. So the NSU does not pop out. All right, we got our NSU screws in. Got bing and bang right there, all ready to go. Next step will be to get those safety wired in and then reassemble. All right, everybody, we are all safety wired in. As you can see here, we've got our safety wire. We tucked the little tail up. And so if anything loosens in here, it's going to pull on the safety wire and keep it tight. So we're on to our next step, which is now, let's put her back together. washer, lock tab. All right, got that in. Let's get her torqued down, snugged up, torqued down, get the lock tab bent, and continuing on. There we go, 37 foot-pounds. All right, got a punch, bent down the tab on the lock washer. We got it all torqued down. We're gonna go ahead and reassemble the clutch now. If you kept everything in place, it will just slip back in pretty easy. But since you already have a steel here, it's pretty easy just to kind of start putting your clutch plates back in the same way they came out. This is a good time too, if you haven't, give these a good inspection, see how everything's going. I doubled up here. I got me a steel and a friction plate, but it's easier just to do them one at a time. The last two. We're going to go ahead and put our face plate back on. Make sure everything's happy. We're going to line this up. Goes on like so. Voila. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put these back in, and they get torqued down to about 7 foot-pounds. You want to do them in stages so you're not overstressing anything and you don't get some sort of weird torque factor as you're torquing them down. All right, now we got clutch basket on, got everything torqued down inside. We're gonna go ahead and torque these. You wanna do them in a crisscross pattern, 7 foot-pounds. All right, we're good for the next stop. Double check everything. We got this in, we got this engaged with the oil pump gear and everything behind. Everything's happy now. So next step is go ahead and let's put the case back on. So got everything torqued down, everything's happy, everything's engaged, looks good. We're gonna go ahead and prep our surface. Probably could have done that before I put the clutch basket back on. It would have been a little easier, but we'll get that prepped. We'll go ahead and get the new clutch gasket ready to put on, and we'll go ahead and put the case back on. All right, got the new gasket on, got the clutch case on, the cover on. All my marks are lined up. I've got all my bolts in order that I took them out. I know that this one right here by the oil fitting is the one with the washer on it, so I went ahead and stuck that one in just as a placeholder. And then I'm gonna just work my way around and fill in the gaps. Get our oil fitting put back on here. For the front one, don't forget the little O-ring that goes in there. That placed in there like so. Get in there home. And the 2 8mm that go on top of that. All right, now we're gonna go back around, torque these. Okay, quick little tip. I just want to let you guys know that if you do end up, when you put the case back in, this arm moves a little bit, it's okay. Because then If your line's off here, you will just end up turning the shaft so it engages and then reinstalling your clutch arm. So it might be one tooth off when you put it back on, so you can still get your tension on your clutch. All right, everybody, now we're going to go ahead and refill her back up with oil and double check everything. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ever reach out to us, call, text, or email. And don't forget, if you like this, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. And don't forget, your adventure begins here.